Facebook and YouTube fans. This is Kirk Brunson's Facebook and YouTube channel in New York City. I have to do a video talking about kind of my experiences so far on my cruises I've been on and to clear up a few inconsistencies and negative feedback that I've seen about certain cruise lines. People say to me, I talk about cruising a lot, and they say that you're addictive to cruising. Is cruising actually addictive? I would say that it's not the cruising that's addictive. It's the way you get treated while you're on a cruise ship, and also how the how your vacations, how you get treated while you're on vacation. So my answer to them is cruising addictive. I don't think you're addictive to cruising. You're more addictive to the lifestyle that's created while you're on the ship itself. Is there pros and cons to cruising? Of course there are. Let's go with the cons first because there's very little. One con is that a lot of the cruise lines go to similar locations, especially depending upon the amount of money you're able to spend and which cruise port you can come out of. Living in New York City, there's a few choices of cruise lines that I can go on that's close within driving or buses, and there's an abundance of them that you can fly to. So you have to look into it that you got to add the expense of travel to get to your cruise port as part of your cruising budget. I've cruised out of New York, I've cruised out of Baltimore, I've cruised out of Miami. And living in New York City, it's easier to do New York and Baltimore, but it's a limited amount of places you can go, especially when you're only willing or only able to do a 5 or 7 day cruise. So you end up going to places like Nassau, Bahamas. You go to the private islands. You might even go to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. But you don't get to go to far out places deeper in the Caribbean and other locations like Europe and Alaska. I was thinking about what my next cruises should be, and because of reasonings, I was thinking about going out of Baltimore again, but I was thinking about going on my first Royal Caribbean cruise. Now, I've never done Royal Caribbean. My first cruise was on the NCL Gem. My next cruise after that was on the MSC Meraviglia. The next cruise after that was on the Carnival Legend. Then the Carnival Magic. And then my last cruise was on the MSC Seascape. All enjoyable cruises. The only difference was that my MSC Meraviglia cruise was right after they started opening up cruising again after the pandemic was lifted, and it was kind of so many things that you couldn't do, wearing a mask. You have to, cruising with my son, he was places he couldn't go because at that time, he wasn't vaccinated. He wasn't having the ability to be vaccinated. Now that the vaccine mandate has been lifted, there's more places and more things that he can do, especially when we went on my latest cruise, which was the MSC Seascape, which, may I say, is a beautiful ship. Let's see. I want to analyze my 5 cruises. First, let's look at NCL Gem. That was our first cruise in 2018. It was they say a large ship, which in comparison to ships now is not considered a large ship. 2,400 passengers, 1,200 crew, whatever. and it was 15 decks. Since it being our first cruise, we didn't know what to expect, and we had a beautiful time. Um, the entertainment was great, the food was great, and the overall experience was, at the time, we thought nothing that can beat it. Now, after the lifting of the letting the ships go back into service, we went to a on a cruise in 20, I think it was 2021. 2021. Okay, we went on a MSC Meraviglia cruise, and that was a beautiful ship, beautiful cruise. And let me tell you, to me, MSC was really trying to show value with, the affordability of the cruise, with the ability to have a very, very good time on a very, very beautiful ship. The next cruise we were on, we decided, let's take it up a little bit different type of cruise. So what we did was we went on a Carnival Legend cruise, another moderately, sized ship. Excellent entertainment. The food was really good, and the cruise director on down was a very good cruise for us. Next cruise that we were on was the Carnival Magic, which we had a Carnival knows how to put entertainment and have a party atmosphere and a great time. Anybody who's ever cruised Carnival will tell you that people have problems with it because of sometimes the type of people it draws, but you will always have a beautiful experience, meaning entertainment, party time, good times all around. And our final cruise so far that we were on was an MSC Seascape. It was a very brand new ship out there. And let me tell you, MSC is really going for the American market. People have problems with MSC. They say that the food is not up to par with the other cruise lines, and they say that the entertainment is not on par with the other three major cruise lines. But as you could see, MSC being now used to be number 4, now it's number 3, and I believe with as many ships they're coming out, the bigger ships that they're coming out with, and also getting into the eastern market, New York City, New Jersey, and also especially Florida, they're taking on the big boys, and I believe sooner or later will be, if not the number 1, especially the number 2. Now, I think MSC might be trying to position themselves to acquire more cruise lines, maybe picking a few of them off from the offshoots of the big 3, and maybe that way making a bigger push into the market in the United States. So let's talk about the complaints that people have about MSC. They say that the food isn't as good as the other 3 cruise lines. It's a different type of cruise ship and cruise company. I would say, European, they say European flair, an Italian flair. But I think that they've, especially when I was on the Seascape, they listened to the critics, and they changed a little bit of the type of offerings that they had. The entertainment even changed. They say at one time MSC was about opera and classical music thrown in with the, kind of cabaret type of entertainment. I feel that MSC can use a little work when it comes to some of their shows. I feel that if I could give them a thought to think about something, would be maybe they should try to do like Royal Caribbean does, and trying to bring on, let's say, a Mamma Mia, or a Jekyll and Hyde, or some type of named Broadway show to their cruises, so they could really kick up their attraction to the American market. Time will tell. Well, let's see. I I always say that if I could choose which cruise that I was on so far, which would be my best to my least favorite cruise. Well, let's start with my least favorite, and it's not the fault of the cruise line and or the the type of cruise it was. It has to do with the fact that it was right after the pandemic, and so many things were closed down. There was so much mask. You had to wear masks. You had to social distance. It was the fact that it was at 50% or 40% capacity was great, but there were so many things that you had to stay away from. You couldn't touch the food yourself. And that being said, I would say my fifth would be the MSC Meraviglia. Not for the fact of it not being a great ship, but for the fact that it was right after the pandemic, and they opened up the cruises, and they had to be so extra careful. If I had chose my fourth least favorite, I would say, I would say the I'm leaning towards the Carnival, maybe the Carnival Magic. Yeah, let's say that. I would say the Carnival Magic. And like I said, I had a beautiful time. But if I had to choose of the five, the number fourth least favorite would have been the Carnival Magic. Like I said, the entertainment was great. The food was good, but the other three that I'm gonna say was just a step above. Now that leads me to the last three, that being the Seascape, the Carnival Legend, and the NCL Gem. Let's take a look at it. Let's see. I would probably say it's hard to say the Legend over the Seascape. I would say number three would be the Legend. Even though, like I said, great time all around, great food all around, great atmosphere all around, nice people to myself, what I thought, my family too. But I would have to say the Legend. If you, let's say this, number two. Let's go with number two. Number two, believe it or not, I would say the MSC Seascape. And Seascape could be number one. It definitely has the ability to be number one. But like I say, the Seascape, beautiful ship. If you have never cruised in MSC, give it a chance. Stop listening to the naysayers out there. Choose your own, go with the flow of what you think you would enjoy. Give MSC a try. You won't be disappointed. The ships are absolutely beautiful ships, brand new ships. I believe the newest ships in the fleets of cruising that's out there right now. And like I said, the food has gotten better, entertainment has gotten better, and I would say get on the MSC cruise while you can, while the prices are very affordable. And like I said, give it a chance. Which leads to me now number one. And I say number one with a smile because it was my first. And when it's your first, I say it's your baby. And NCL gym. The gym was a perfect size for a first cruise, 7 days out of New York, going to, Nassau, going to Florida, going to the private island, and coming back to New York. A perfect first cruise for me and my family. If anybody wants to drop me a line and tell me if they believe that my cruise choices and my ratings of the cruises were right and or wrong, just let me know. This is Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel, and I'll be coming back to you in very near future. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel. And if you want to leave comments, drop me a line, and I'll definitely be listening and responding to any feedback and or comments that you have. This is Kirk Brunson YouTube and Facebook channel. You have a good day. Bye-bye.